Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum. His Holiness Sheikh Dr. Saleh Al Talib, Imam Kabbah Masjid Al Haram, His Excellency Honorable Cheng Yu Singh, President Hong Kong Legislative Council, Excellencies from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Pakistan, Kuwait, and Pakistan Association, and other respected guests, a very warm welcome to you all. I am humbly grateful to the beneficent. He has brought His Holiness Sheikh Dr. Saleh Al Talib, Imam Kabbah from Masjid Al Haram directly in front of us. All praises go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bestowing such an honor on us mortals, that Your Holiness are here today among us. We are also grateful to King Abdullah, custodian of Haramain Sharifain, to send you to our function. Also today would be a great opportunity for Your Holiness to witness, to meet Muslims living in a Chinese society. Please allow me few minutes to describe brief history of Hong Kong and of Muslims in Hong Kong. Archaeological evidence suggests man had set up communities in Hong Kong over 1,000 years ago in Lee Cheng Hook area in Shamshipo, the area Your Holiness visited an hour ago. In those days, Hong Kong was mainly a fishing and farming community. Things started to change. The Opium Wars between the Chinese and the British in the mid-19th century resulted in the British occupying Hong Kong. In 1841, Captain Elliot of the British Army planted the British flag on Hong Kong Island and declared the famous words, "It is a barren rock." Your Holiness has been in Hong Kong for 3 days, and I'm sure you have witnessed life in Hong Kong. It has in fact transformed from a barren rock into a pearl. This transformation into pearl of the Orient was achieved with only one natural resource: the people. Hong Kong has got no other natural resource available in here. In 1840, Muslims from Sri Lanka settled in Hong Kong. Their descendants still live in Hong Kong. In 1850, the government granted the land and the Muslims built the first mosque in Hong Kong. In 1885, the second mosque was built on Hong Kong Island. The British Army actively recruited Muslims from the Indian subcontinent. These Muslim soldiers used to pray in the ground that is Kowloon Park today. Seeing this, one of their commanders helped them to secure land for a third mosque through a royal decree. Thus, in 1896, the third mosque was established, where Your Holiness led the Jummah prayers yesterday. Let's continue our journey in history of Hong Kong. During World War I in 1950, more Muslims arrived and were inducted in the British Army. By the time Britain got embroiled in World War II, in 1940s, Hong Kong Muslims numbered in thousands. They were mainly living around the 3 mosques and near the China border. On 1st October 1949, the Chinese Communist Party established the People's Republic of China in Beijing. This led to a mass exodus of people from China to Hong Kong. Among them were ancestors of many of today's rich Chinese Muslims of Hong Kong. After the Korean War in 1951 and the subsequent American sanctions on China, the golden age of Hong Kong began. Industrialization led to rapid economic growth. This attracted more Muslims, not only from the Indian subcontinent, but also from Muslim countries in Africa. Hong Kong government implemented a unique immigration policy. called touch-based policy. Under touch-based policy, newly arrived immigrants became permanent residents on the first day of their arrival, provided they crossed the boundary street in Mongkok. This policy was cancelled in 1979. Numerous Muslims, including myself and many people sitting here, became permanent residents under touch-based policy. Mosques in the 70s, Your Highness, were only used for prayers. There was neither Quran teaching nor Islamic studies in the mosque. I myself had to seek Quranic education from somebody in Chungi Mansion. I remember one day in 1983, I reached Korul Mosque after school, and we were only 4 people in the mosque. The Imam, Muezzin, the caretaker, and myself. Allah was watching, and He decided to change Hong Kong's Islamic landscape. In 1988, Qari Muhammad Tayyib Khatme was sent by the Almighty to lead Hong Kong's Muslims. Soon, this scholar's efforts populated the mosque. In 1995, Khatme Nubuwwat movement was established under the advice of His Holiness Sheikh Zubayr, the president of Harman Sharifan. Qari Tayyib started inviting Muslim scholars from Pakistan and Saudi Arabia. Imams of Masjid al-Haram have always been very cooperative with Qari Tayyib. They, like Your Holiness, have always accepted his invitations to visit Hong Kong for the benefit and spiritual development of local Muslims. Many thousands of Muslims all over Hong Kong will bear witness today before Your Holiness that Qari Tayyib has been and is instrumental in invigorating the Iman of Muslims. At least I do. Qari Tayyib established Hajj tours, which are now a permanent fixture in the Islamic calendar of Hong Kong Muslims. It is Qari Tayyib's efforts that led to the establishment of the Consulate General of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Hong Kong 5 years ago. Prior to his advent in 1988, there was no one available for Tarawih prayers. Now, Alhamdulillah, Hong Kong has so many Hafiz of Quran that we send them to our neighboring countries like Japan and Korea during Ramadan every year. Khatme Nubuwwat movement is a full-fledged NGO, fully registered with the government of HKSAR as a non-profit entity. It operates 6 madrasas in various pockets of Hong Kong, wherever Muslim families are concentrated. 12 teachers teach Quran to 700 students 6 days a week, 11 months a year. There are also 200 ladies who receive Islamic education from 3 lady teachers. We offer 5 daily prayers, provide Hajj service, help to moderate the thinking of local Muslims. Our Friday Jummah congregation attendance is second highest in Hong Kong, only limited by space. In nutshell, Khatme Nubuwwat movement teachings are based on Quran and Hadith. The operations of Khatme Nubuwwat are funded by donations from poor Muslims, as Your Holiness has witnessed during the madrasa visits today. We do not receive any kind of financial help from any government, local or foreign. Neither do we have any of our own means of generating income. We appeal to you to pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant Khatme Nubuwwat movement its own Islamic center in the near future. Your Holiness, we assure you, Khatme Nubuwwat is fully dedicated to opening 1 new madrasa in any area where it can identify 50 Muslim families, because our basic and fundamental aim has and is to safeguard Muslim children from the onslaught of Western values permeating Hong Kong society. Finally, I would like to express our sincere